Most B2B marketing is complete rubbish. And a lot of that is around people's misconceptions or things they believe around what you can and can't do in the B2B marketing world. And this is why I'm recording this video. In this video, I'm going to run through 7 common B2B marketing myths and completely debunk them for you and show you why in 2023, if you are a business owner or a person responsible for marketing a B2B business, you need to be doing things properly and in a way that can set you up to get more leads more often and actually get your money's worth out of your marketing budget. Because too often we speak to people responsible for marketing these B2B businesses who either don't have a clue, don't market at all, or have trundled along for years, maybe sometimes even decades, just wasting money on the wrong types of marketing to get the actual results. My name is James Green and I'm creating this video for you because you're probably interested or want to know how you can market your B2B business better. And we do this for a lot of our clients across random B2B industries and have been doing it for the last 5 years with social media advertising. So let's get ahead into the video. So the 7 common B2B marketing myths we're going to cover today are: number 1, all B2B buyers behave logically and rationally. Number 2, cold calling and cold email are the only strategies to focus on. Number 3 is B2B marketing is really expensive. Number 4 is your marketing needs to be serious because it's a business. Number 5 is LinkedIn is the only platform worthwhile for a B2B business. Number 6 is it's only really worth marketing if you're a big business. Number 7 is social media advertising is ineffective for B2B organizations. So diving into that first common myth where all B2B buyers are behaving logically and rationally. And this is often why it can be so boring, because many people think you need to present these logical and rational arguments as to why someone should buy your product and service and tick all those boxes that by the book are the reasons they should buy. And you need that data and logic to persuade these buyers to become leads and to talk to you and then to transact and convert into clients or subscribers or however you might deal with those businesses. But the people sitting on the other end of the telephone call, Zoom demo, form they fill out, people reading your marketing or watching your marketing, they're people, right? They're not these vague businesses as a concept. They are people with decisions to make in their workplace. That's all. And these people are influenced, just like you, just like me, by emotion, personal triggers, desire, their selfishness, other different emotional and psychological needs that you're probably aware of all the time when you're buying or when you're seeing advertising marketing related to normal consumer products. But for some reason, so many people, when operating in and when advertising and marketing B2B businesses, just forget about that completely. They forget their marketing to people. These buyers that you're trying to speak to are people who might want to impress their bosses, right? Get promotion, get more money, or they want to impress their peers and show that they're the ones with new ideas that are doing a good job and trying to advance the business, or they are the bosses who want an easier life, right? They want to reduce their stress, or they want to be able to afford a new hire, or they want to be able to afford another holiday. These are all people with common problems that everyone is facing. And if you even just address that and realize that when you're starting to market your B2B service or product, you'll do so much better than a lot of the crap out there it just doesn't resonate with anyone because they aren't thinking of the other person on the end of that video and the end of that website as a person. So you need to appeal to their human needs and address it. You can address it quite up front, right? Some of the best ones we've seen are people aiming at mid-level managers saying look, if you buy this product or roll in this subscription or use this software, you will get that promotion and advance your career. And just like that, you might need to separate out the content and the communication you're sending to different seniorities in the business. You might need approval from senior decision makers, middle managers, and then the end users of the products perhaps. So you can create different advertising campaigns, you can create different funnels, you can create different content, all tailored for people at different seniority levels or different stakeholders within the purchase. And yes, you can nod to the rational logic thing that might help them explain it internally and get buy-in. But ultimately, you need to have those psychological and emotional triggers ticked off and be able to persuade, because otherwise they don't care. They're not even going to stop and watch. And that's one of the most basic things is you need to be able to understand that people are people, and people only watch stuff that they're interested in and they find shocking, entertaining, funny, outrageous, or interesting in the first place. And so much B2B marketing doesn't tick any of those boxes and just goes by without meaning anything to anyone and never gets seen, never gets engaged with, never gets any results. In fact, it's not a bad thing to follow in terms of making sure that your messaging and communication, your marketing with your B2B product or service focuses on reducing ball ache, reducing stress, reducing workload, and improving revenues and profits for that end person you're trying to reach. So our second myth is cold email and cold calling are the only strategies that are worth doing. Sadly, a lot of B2B marketing is very outdated, especially in these small businesses which haven't yet grasped the way to market a business in 2023 or even 2000. They'll have a few or many bored, unmotivated members of their sales team or marketing team given lists of unqualified prospects that don't want to be annoyed, don't want to be bothered, and are too busy to deal with your calls pestering them, and they never get through, and never leads to any results. Maybe once in a blue moon someone actually answers, but it's just not the way people like to do business in 2023. It's just draining for everyone involved, and considering what's possible for people to do now, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have a sales team, they're probably actually good at their job. They're just speaking to people that don't give a shit yet. So wouldn't you rather hand hot qualified leads to these people using different marketing methods, modern marketing methods, and the technology that's out there that can actually get you more sales? To add into this, people hammering out emails and calls all day, that's expensive, right? You're paying these people, so that's massively time consuming and expensive in terms of manpower. And frankly, it's just quite annoying. I get bothered by it all the time. I'm just thinking, like, who does this work for? It must work once in a blue moon for people that are just happen to be stumbled across the call. I don't even answer calls like that anymore, so I don't see who is. I could also throw like exhibitions and conferences into this category, where, especially like networking events, it's just people in a room trying to sell to each other because they've been told, oh, that's a good place to network, when people are just trying to get their pitch in front of other people. And conferences, the big ones, yes, you can probably meet old contacts or renew conversations, or it's a good place to carry on a conversation you're already having. But is it really the most sensible way to use your marketing budget to spend 30 grand on a conference stand, plus activating it, plus the cost of travel and expenses of people there? And often everyone's bored of the conference and exhibition by the time 1 or 2 days is over, because they're constantly getting pitched out left, right, and centre by everyone all day. What we like to do is use the more sensible, scalable marketing strategies where you can gently persuade, inform, entertain, and nurture these people at their own pace, at their own time, at their own convenience, and you filter in the people and draw them close to you who actually could be a lead, and you filter out the people who aren't ready to buy just yet, because otherwise you're wasting your time with them. We want people to get to that point of a stranger, but someone who could buy your product, into being semi-interested, being aware of what you do, seeing the pros, cons, and the reasons why it can solve their problems, into a hot qualified lead. Then it goes to your sales team, and then that's where you can do the magic and convert them into actually being a paying client, subscriber, or buyer from your B2B service or product. There are some companies who get this, especially like the B2B SaaS industry, so all those software as a service products that you're probably a member of yourself, and they are the ones who are doing the marketing well, and they understand the technological capabilities and the platforms out there and hammering it and doing well. That's why these companies can scale so fast, because they understand and they get how to market a B2B business. Some of them do, some of them don't. You see these B2B SaaS companies go on a massive push with social media advertising, they do lead magnets, content, they basically feed prospective buyers as much information as possible to make sure they are gagging and begging to get on a call, begging to get on a demo, begging to get in a room and meeting with you, because they're already pre-sold on what you're selling before you even get there. And they understand what their customers' pain points are, but crucially understand where people's attention is, right? It's on their phones, they're scrolling, looking busy in between meetings, bored on the toilet. That is where you reach people nowadays. Think about how you can replicate how you buy stuff in normal life. Like, it would be so weird and backwards if all day you were fending off cold calls or constant emails from sales reps from Nike and Gymshark trying to sell you their products. That would never work. So why are people wasting time with this in the B2B environment? Myth number 3 is B2B marketing is too expensive. Too expensive for small businesses. Oh, it costs so much, we can't get in front of the right people without spending a fortune. I think part of this stems from the last thing we spoke about in terms of like the strategies, the channels, the tactics people are using, because they can be really expensive. But also a lot of like the content out there, a lot of the guides, a lot of the videos, a lot of the tutorials, a lot of the agencies out there are designed to service these huge enterprise companies. The ones with millions of pounds to spend, the ones with hundreds of thousands of employees and servicing other companies with hundreds of thousands of employees. So that can be the narrative, because there is a market obviously around that, because there's a lot of cash in it. But you can make your marketing work without being in a multi-million pound company where it's a bunch of middle managers shuffling POs and emails from one side of the desk to another, just because someone in Silicon Valley made an amazing product 20 or 30 years ago. We know, and we've worked with small IT companies, accountancy firms, marketing agencies, research agencies, sales services. Some of these businesses shy away from actually doing anything smart with their marketing because they deem it as too expensive or too big a risk. Shy away from an actual marketing strategy in favour of just grafting as hard as they can and working their fingers down to the bone in terms of like sales, when there's an easier way out there. It doesn't have to be this way. Not every marketing strategy or channel is super expensive. We've worked with some B2B clients who generate leads day in, day out from sensible marketing budgets. We're talking like approximately £1,000 a month, where we identify the right channels for them, the right audience, and the right offer. And then those leads that come in can regularly convert to tens of thousands of pounds in revenue based on the service they're providing, making the ROI on these small campaigns colossal, and then we can grow those campaigns and help grow that business into its next phase without breaking the bank on stupid marketing. Myth number 4 is your marketing needs to be serious. I just don't get why so much B2B marketing is so boring and so crap. Like, it's uncreative, people just use stock images and just plain boring ad copy that doesn't do anything for anyone, doesn't inspire anyone to do anything. It's written in a way that no human ever speaks to another human, so no wonder it doesn't work. And it links massively back into that first point I was saying. You are still communicating to people. And a lot of the time it's just, and I do feel for it, it's staff in a company who are scared of doing anything that might be deemed as unprofessional. So they end up writing these bland pieces of ad copy, landing pages, creative, social media posts, whatever it might be, that just don't mean anything to anyone. They're so scared that it might slightly piss off or slightly alienate one potential person that it just ends up being a boring, bland mess that does nothing. So don't think, oh, we're a business talking to a business, so we can't use any humour or emotion or in any way try and galvanise or an emotional response from this person. Because it ends up just being a bit fucking weird when you just talk to these anonymous business to an anonymous business. Be creative and don't be afraid to create something that stands out. Because yes, you might piss off, anger, alienate, or just scare away maybe 5, 10, 20% of your potential target audience by saying something slightly human, right? But if you are also pissing off 10% people, you are drawing 10% or maybe even a much larger proportion of people closer to you because it actually meant something, it's actually galvanised a response. So that's actually what you should be aiming for. Because no one cares about the middle. No one cares about the middle. You need to be pushing a message that in some way gets a response from people, otherwise your marketing will not work. Myth number 5 is LinkedIn is the only suitable platform for B2B marketing. Whilst yes, LinkedIn is great for B2B marketing and it serves a massive purpose for a lot of companies in reaching their type of audience, because it's people who work in business, what they scroll on when they're busy between meetings. And it has great targeting tools with their ad platform. Like, you can target people by the job role they have, the job title, the seniority, the companies they work for, and also what products and services they're interested in buying. By the way, for more information and to learn how to actually master LinkedIn B2B ads and the targeting behind that and some secrets that we can share with you, there is a tutorial probably on the right hand side here of us walking through best B2B targeting options for LinkedIn advertising. LinkedIn's not the only one out there. Right now, you're probably watching this video on YouTube, or you might be coming to this via a clip from TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter. And I keep coming back and hammering home this point. People are people. Think about your own screen time. Think about where you browse. Think about when you're pretending to look busy. What are you scrolling through? What platforms are you using? And increasingly, these platforms' algorithms are amazing, and they'll serve the content to the types of people that are interested in them. And there's so many niches, especially on TikTok and even more Twitter as well, where people are building up communities and hubs and devouring content related to their specific problems, communities. Like, they might have weird interests in terms of Japanese sushi, but also something related finally to their job and their tips people are giving to progress their careers or to solve their problems they're having in those jobs on TikTok, because they naturally are being fed content of stuff they're interested in and that they stop and actually watch. We're seeing awesome results and examples of B2B companies and services basically being built off the back of strong TikTok and Twitter, whether it's organic content or paid content, and they're just focusing on that, doubling down and building great businesses off the back of it. So be specific and be obvious, because as well as filtering in and drawing the people you want, that you care about, because you are only after a niche small subsection of people if you're a B2B service product, you want to filter out the people who don't care about, filter out the people that don't care about you. And that's what these algorithms are built on now, is like the first frame, the first second, the first 2 seconds. You want to make it obvious who you're speaking to even just pattern interrupt them as they're scrolling through, right? You want to call them out directly. Myth number 6 is only really worth it for big businesses. B2B marketing is often, like I said before, associated with large companies, associated with enterprise companies. And there is a reason for that, but that doesn't make up the majority of the workers and the people in the industry and the livelihoods within it. Businesses of all sizes can benefit from a smart, social-first B2B marketing strategy and getting that right. If anything, B2B marketing is even more important for these smaller businesses who are eager to grow. They know they've got a great product or service. They just need to be able to get out there and in front of those prospective buyers more often and be able to do that at a cost-effective way. So here's a battle-tested strategy we use and we have used for many B2B clients, where it can be even individual owners of a B2B business or small teams that want to get out there and grow, is you record a video pitch, just a video of what you say in a meeting, right? And you make sure that video highlights your dream customer, your ideal target audience's massive pain points, drums up that, reasons why the pain points are annoying and why they need to fix them, and then introduce your amazing solution, right? What you're actually selling. And then that video with a call to action, whether it's to book in a call, fill out a form, download this, etc. What you want to do then is run a few versions of this video as an ad campaign on the platform of your choice or platforms of your choice, linking to a lead form or the page that you want to guide people to. Test these videos to a few different audiences, and like I said before, there's probably recommended on one of the sides here tutorials on how you can target your potential audience on LinkedIn, but also we've done tutorials for Facebook ads and TikTok ads and how to target your B2B audiences. and test that out over 2 weeks, 30 days, incrementally improve them. Because at the very worst, you're getting your face, your message, your product, your brand in front of as many people in your target audience as possible, and that will generate results. You just need to keep working on the right message, the right offer, the right advertising campaign, what happens after the click, and when done right, it will generate amazing results for any B2B business. This lean, mean strategy is purpose-built for smaller B2B businesses who want more leads more often, doing it with a sensible budget rather than wasting thousands upon thousands of pounds on crap that just doesn't deliver any tangible results or any revenue. Myth number 7 is social media advertising is not effective for B2B businesses. In the last point, and a lot of the points before, it's probably no surprise that is exactly what we do for our clients. We are a social media advertising agency that focuses on getting more leads for B2B businesses. Why? Because it works. Social media advertising is paying to appear on people's feeds. To be honest, people don't care about your bake sale or a selfie of your staff in the office or just the boring other organic content you're putting up. And that maybe someone in your team is slaving over because you've told them they need to be posting every day on all the platforms around your business. But the reality is organic content is really hard to make anyone care, because think of what you're up against. No one actually sees this content because they're probably following a lot more interesting things on social media, right? You're competing against pictures of puppies, pictures of pizza places, and pictures of people's previous exes posing on the beach or in other sorts of outfits, right? So how to guarantee you get on their timelines, how to guarantee that attention is you have to pay. But the good news is it's not as expensive as you might think. Think about the leading B2C e-commerce organizations that you and I buy from all the time. What do they do? There's a reason that social media advertising is the underlying strategy for a lot of these big businesses, especially the ones that have been created in the last 5 to 10 years online. It's because it works, and part of that is the amazing targeting capabilities that I've already mentioned. And when you're a B2B business, you want to laser target the right people, because there's only a certain amount of industries or potential sizes of businesses or potential levels of individuals within those businesses that you even care about talking to. That's possible with these social media advertising platforms. But even more exciting, if you've watched any of my videos around B2B advertising before, is the element of retargeting. You know that concept when you add something to basket, where you go onto someone's website, and the next time you're on Instagram or TikTok, you see an ad from them. Well, it makes complete sense to do this for a B2B business, because everyone's browsing your inquiry page or your About Us page for a weird, niche, boring B2B businesses. They're not doing it for a laugh. They wouldn't have discovered you randomly. They are looking at your website, maybe because you've outreached them sales-wise, maybe because they've met you before, maybe because you came up on a Google search. But all these people are gold mines for you. And social media advertising is an easy way to retarget and focus your marketing budget, focus your efforts, focus your campaigns on getting those people over the line. Because the reality is they're probably judging you against maybe 5 to 10 competitors that probably came up on a Google search once, and they forget about ever dealing with it because it's just bottom of their to-do list. You can be the ones that are pushing your message in front of them on their timelines where their attention actually is, and actually get them to be your client and make that sale. I think these systems work for selling £30 t-shirts or kitchen gadgets. So imagine the power of what they can do when they're selling your products, which might be worth thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds of revenue over a lifetime, because you're paying still the same amount a B2C company would to appear on their timeline and show that video, show that image, show that ad, get them to your website. But we've got much higher value purchases and products to be selling to them. That's why we love this industry, and that's why clients love us, because doing things this way in the B2B world isn't yet common. And the companies that are aware of it and doing it, a lot of them are rubbish at it, and they don't follow that people-to-people advertising, and they just waste money on boring campaigns that do nothing and don't convert anything. They just do it for awareness. That's an excuse, because all they want to do is spend their budget, and they're doing it in an awful way and not getting any tangible results. The reality is a lot of the people running ads for these B2B companies aren't experts like us, and they're just doing a shit job. So if you're a B2B business who run social media advertising campaigns profitably or works with a partner like us, you're effectively like a Premier League player playing in a Sunday League match full of hungover opponents. You're almost like Erling Haaland this season, right? You are superhuman, not because you're amazing, but because the other people aren't. And you will stand out so much if you follow what we said in this video, but also just work on the social media advertising platforms that work best for your business and start to generate more leads more often. So we've run through those 7 common B2B marketing myths. Now to replace those myths, I'm going to give you 7 new commandments to follow before the end of this video. Myth number 1 was all B2B buyers are logical and rational. We're going to replace that with all B2B buyers are human and make human decisions. Myth number 2 is cold calling and cold email are the only strategies. Well, let's think about replacing that with scalable systems that generate leads while you sleep. Myth number 3 was B2B marketing is really expensive. Well, start small, test what works, and then grow with the campaigns, the strategies, the tactics, and the channels that are working for you. Myth number 5 is LinkedIn is the only platform for B2B businesses. Replace that with TikTok can do wonders in finding your audience, and experiment with using TikTok first content and use the content you're creating for TikTok, which is engaging video, on Instagram Reels, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, wherever. Myth number 6 was it's only worth it for really big businesses. I want you to replace that with one-man B2B business and services could be the future with this type of marketing strategy. Myth number 7 was social media ads aren't effective for B2B companies. We're proof that's wrong, so start using targeted ads on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. And another commandment there, number 8, if you're busy or you're scared that you're not going to get the right results right away and you want an expert helping hand, whether it's us managing the campaigns for you or us holding your hand and teaching you how to do it and teaching your team how to do it, we can do either. Just go for www.adsforb2b.com and you can apply to work with us and we can get things rolling from there. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'd love it if you leave a like, a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in any more tips and information around how to make B2B advertising and B2B marketing work for your business. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.